To fulfill its mandate, the OP is proposing a budget of 10.506 billion pesos to ensure that the essential work of family of policy formulation, governance, oversight, and strategic coordination is delivered to its stakeholders, the national government and the Filipino people. The Office of the President holds a unique and critical role in our system of government. As the highest executive authority, it is tasked with the day-to-day administration of the government, the execution of laws passed by Congress, and the protection of national interests. It is vital that we allocate the necessary resources to the Office of the President to ensure the efficient functioning of our government and the continued service to our people. Maray naga, asin Diyos mabalos sa Indugabos. Before we proceed, may we now yield the Vice Chair to Toby Chanco.
Yes. Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Good morning to our guests from the Office of the President, led by our Executive Secretary, Lucas P. Bersamin. Sir, Executive Secretary, you now have the floor. You may proceed with your presentation.
Mr. Chair and the other members of this committee, good morning. It is an honor for me to appear before this committee to present, explain, and above all, seek the members' support for the proposed budget of the Office of the President for fiscal year 2025. Our attendance here as a delegation from the Office of the President is not merely for purposes of compliance with the legal requirement to present our proposed budget before a co-equal branch upon which the power to appropriate is conferred by the Constitution. Most important, we are here as a manifestation of the President's commitment to honor and respect the Congress as our partner in upholding the country's national interests as well as in promoting the welfare of our people. I am taking this opportunity, Your Honors, to convey the President's view on our existing legislative relations, which is anchored on the principle that governance will be significantly improved through the efforts of our branches to work alongside each other with utmost respect for each other's mandate. Thus, the Office of the President will fully cooperate with the Congress for it to be able to fulfill its constitutional mandate as the keeper of the purse. For fiscal year 2025, the Office of the President requests a budget of 10,506,201,000 to perform its mandate for the people. This amount, if I may point out, is 1.88% lower than the budget of the Office of the President in fiscal year 2024 and represents a mere 0.9% of the proposed total budget, national budget for fiscal year 2025. Nonetheless, we believe that the proposed amount will be sufficient and adequate for the President to meet the exacting demands of being the head of state and of government, the chief architect of Philippine foreign policy, and the commander-in-chief. The budget proposal will later be discussed in detail for the appreciation of this committee. We have determined that the reduction in the budget being proposed will not affect the delivery of services by the President to the people. More meetings will still be conducted, more presidential public engagements will still be held, the Cabinet will still be convened as often, if not oftener. The consultations in Malacanang, befitting its role as the policy center, will still be constant and regular. However, these activities will be conducted and held economically, mindful of the need to provide quality services for the people with less financial requirement in support of the Bagong Pilipinas brand of governance. The budget adjustment will still accommodate the logistical requirements of honoring invitations from foreign leaders to visit their countries, diplomatic initiatives which would yield job-creating investments that will hasten support for our post-pandemic economic recovery. It can also sufficiently support the implementation of the necessary infrastructure works within the palace complex that have stalled due to the pandemic in furtherance of the Build Better More priority program of the President, as well as to safeguard the overall security of all those who work hard for the attainment of the objectives of the Presidency. Taking into consideration the Philippine Green Building Code, the Fire Code of the Philippines, the Philippine Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Act, and the Protection of Heritage and Cultural Buildings. These projects are all implementation ready and shall be completed within the fiscal year in accordance with the cash-based budgeting policy. Your Honors, before we present the charts that explain our proposed budget in detail, let me just point out that, as in the previous years, we crafted this budget within the parameters and process set by the Department of Budget and Management. Thank you, Your Honors.
Thank you very much, Executive Secretary Bersamin. Who will present the budget?
Good morning, Your Honors. I am presenting the proposed budget of the Office of the President for fiscal year 2025. As previously stated, honorable members, the Office of the President is respectfully requesting a budget of 506,201,000 pesos. This proposed budget covers the funding requirement of the Office of the President for personnel services in the amount of 1,334,205,000, which is equivalent to 12% of the entire budget. Maintenance and other operating expenses of 7,955,419,000, representing 75% of the budget, and capital outlay in the amount of 1,216,577. In terms of appropriation source, the budget of the Office of the President has an agency-specific budget of 10,446,475,000 pesos and automatic appropriations in the amount of 59,726,000 pesos. Compared to the 2024 appropriation of the Office of the President, the proposed fiscal year 2025 budget is lesser by 101.87%. The decrease in the budget is accounted by the following. In terms of personal services, the budget has increased by 4.26% or 52,088,000 pesos. For maintenance and other operating expenses, the budget has increased by 2.69% or equivalent to 208,442,000 pesos. And the proposed capital outlay allocation has decreased by 27.42%, a decrease of 459,628,000 pesos. For the automatic appropriations, Your Honor, the funding requirement for retirement and life insurance premiums has decreased by 4.25%. On the pension allocation, there is no change. Overall, Your Honors, the decrease in the budget is 1.88%, equivalent to 201,726,000 pesos. That is all, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Vice Chair Ching Bernos.
Mr. Chair, as part of the long-standing tradition and practice of the House of Representatives and Committee on Appropriations to extend parliamentary courtesy of the Office of the President
I object,
and recognition
Mr.
of
Chair.
its distinguished role and significance in government, I move that we terminate the budget hearing of the Office of the President.
Is there a second
I
to the
object,
motion?
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair,
Is there
let me
any
explain the objection. I object, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Objection.
Yeah,
Yes.
Mr. Chair, I object dahil sabi po ng Presidente, all government agencies undergo the same process tuwing budget deliberations bilang sagot sa Office of the Vice President, Mr. Chair. So kung ganun, Mr. Chair, na iterminate natin ngayon yung deliberations, we are affirming ang pagiging brat ng Vice President. And in fact, Mr. Chair, pinapalabas natin na nagsisinungaling yung mismong Presidente by evading the process of Congress na mag-undergo ng scrutiny, Mr. Chair.
Please take back your statement na nagsisinungaling yung Presidente.
Note siya, Mr. Chair, that would depend on the decision of this committee. Kasi on record yun, Mr. Chair, sinabi yun ng Presidente, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I move that we delete the statement nagsisinungaling ang presidente. That's very unparliamentary. So move, Mr.
I did not say that, Mr. Chair. I said
Okay, order,
that would
please,
depend
order.
on the actions of this
Order.
committee, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, but we have to delete that portion where you're insinuating that there will be pagsisinungaling if we follow tradition. No, because everything that is tackled in this committee and everything in the House is voted upon by the majority. So whatever the majority rules on does not mean that there is pagsisinungaling. It is just the will of the majority by which a democracy performs. Okay? So since you have an objection, we will now divide the House. All those. Yes.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, you're right.
Mr. Chair,
Paki-off sandali.
Mr.
Mr.
Chair.
Chairman, there are two pending motions. So we are tackling the first motion, just to be clear.
point of order, Mr. Chair. Yeah.
Yeah, one motion at a time. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
The first motion is the motion of the Vice Chair, Congresswoman Ching Bernos, to extend the parliamentary courtesy and terminate the briefing of the budget of the Office of the President. All those in favor, please raise your hands. Please have a hand count. Forty-eight. 48 are in favor of the motion. How many are against the motion? 48 are against, and 48 are in favor, and 3 are against. The motion is carried. The budget of the Office of the President is here.